Chicago State University, where I graduated, has attested to that. Now I can announce that I've received my original replacement degree certificate from them.
He lied. This was at Chatham House, London, before the election. And look at the way he used the word attest that he attended the university. But going by the oral deposition Chicago State University made in court, that they assumed that he is the same person as the person they admitted in the university in the 70s, just because they shared the same name, Bola A. Tinubu. It's a clear case of incompetence on the side of the school. On his own part, it shows a potential identity theft. Yes, they did the same in Nigeria, but more on that in a moment. Now, another lie he told at the Chatham House interview was that he received his duplicate certificate from Chicago State University. It is a blatant lie because going by their deposition, they said they never received any request to issue him a duplicate copy of his certificate. Neither did they send any certificate to him. The one he submitted to INEC was never sent by the university. They didn't produce it. He produced it himself. That's another way of saying he forged it. Now look at their new narrative.
In that certificate, because it's ceremonial, you even have the right to redesign it to your own taste. That is the truth. What is important is the transcript.
What's important here is that they are no longer saying that he didn't forge it. They're only saying that he can legally forge it. For the record, it's still a crime to forge a certificate both in Nigeria and the United States. You can never forge your own certificate. You cannot print your own certificate. It's not possible. Whenever you need a replacement certificate, you have to go back to your school and make an official request. That's how it's done. Even the Chicago State University has this form on their website. You can see it costs only $26 to get a replacement. You just fill out the form, fill all the information that is required, and you'll be given one. Why didn't they do it? Simply because he's not the owner of the records. People forget one thing, that this man forfeited $460,000 to the US government, being narcotics proceeds. So he doesn't want to flout the law anymore. He doesn't want to be caught again by the law in the United States. This is where things work. They don't joke with their law and order. So that's why he never tried to make the request by himself, because he knows he doesn't have all the information needed in order to receive that certificate. And looking at this show of shame, despite the journalists being shocked by what this guy was saying, she never tried to correct him on national television. How did she allow him to get away with saying that someone can forge his own certificate? This is outright misinformation of the public. They've gone from claiming that he got the certificate from the school. When the school debunked it, they are now claiming he printed it by himself. That's not what he said at Chatham House. Focus on what he said. He never said he got it from a third party at Chatham House. He said the university gave it to him. He can't go back in time and change what he said. So the mere fact that he lied to the world that he got this certificate from the university shows that he forged it. That's all the Supreme Court needs. It's a pity we no longer have fearless journalists, unlike the 80s and 90s, where journalists fought the military. They don't rule by constitution, they rule by decrees. But these guys stood up to them. Many paid the ultimate price, people like Delegiwa and others. But today, what changed? Why are journalists worshipping politicians? Why will a journalist allow a politician to come to the studio and tell outright lies to the public without challenging the person, without fact-checking him? Well, to answer the question of what happened to Nigerian journalists, poverty happened to them. That's the ultimate way African leaders control their population. After making their people poor, they now turn around and sprinkle a few notes in their faces. The people will jump up and say, hey, hey, they'll start dancing to their tune. That's why you have to support independent media. Support doesn't mean that you must donate money to their cause. No, not everybody can donate. You can support by watching every video. Yes, you already trust them. You already know that whatever they produce is fact-checked, that their information is always correct. You support them by watching all their videos like we publish. Don't say you don't like this topic, it doesn't concern me, this one is talking this one is talking that. You have to support because all of us are trying to build a better nation, not just Nigeria, but Africa as a whole. Look at what is happening in the north. All their media houses are saying that CSU vindicated him when they openly denied the certificate he submitted to INEC. This is mass misinformation. They are doing it because they are government owned. The ones that are privately funded have all been bought. Well, maybe not all of them, but many are still refusing to say it the way it is. Remember, he told the court that it will cause him irreparable harm if these documents are released. So he said it, not Atiku, not any person. So what they are doing is to minimize the damage that was caused by the oral deposition of CSU. Now, back to the question. This is to make it clear for everyone to understand. If you submit a certificate that bears University of Nigeria, the only person authorized to issue that certificate is University of Nigeria, no one else. If you ask them, did you issue this certificate? And they say no, they didn't issue it. Case closed. Yes, there's no way out. The Supreme Court should disqualify him. Even Keyamo agrees. Look at the tweet he made in 2019 in the case of Adeleke, where he said that if you present a forged WAEC certificate that you must be disqualified. This is exactly what happened here. No matter the twisting, changing narrative, saying this, saying that, it won't change the fact that he forged the certificate. It's as simple as that. So let them do the needful and disqualify him now. Coming back to where he committed identity theft right in our faces. Do you know whose picture is this? That's Donald Duke. They took his picture, passing it as his. They used it in a documentary that was aired on TVC right before our eyes. This one wasn't that they said that that happened where? Right in Nigeria before the election. They stole someone's picture, passing it as his. You should understand the character we're dealing with here. This one didn't happen in America. It happened before our eyes in Nigeria. And if someone did it before and did it again, he's most likely to do it tomorrow. This is why the Constitution is very clear on who and who can be the president. It definitely does not want someone with such character to occupy the highest office in the land. As the saying goes, if the head of the fish is rotten, you already know what will happen to the body of the fish. People should keep talking. Don't ever allow them to change the narrative. All their pack of lies for how many years have come down crashing to the ground. If it wasn't because people kept talking, people like David Hundeyin, who investigated all this, Atiku also recognized him for that. People must keep talking. Now they are trying to change the narrative in our very face. People that said they got everything from the university said, no, it didn't come from us. They are now saying, okay, we now got it from a third party, which is another way of accepting that they forged it. Don't ever allow them to change the narrative. This happened before our very eyes after the elections. The only man that campaigned, he went everywhere, kept telling people, don't vote for me because I'm from here. Don't vote for me because I'm a Christian. Vote for me because I am competent. That's the only man they said campaigned based on religion. On the other hand, Tinubu himself said Emilokan, which is a Yoruba sentence for saying it is my turn. As if every one of us forgot what happened during the campaigns. They turned the story upside down, trying to change the narrative, trying to rewrite history in our very own eyes. They also use highly educated individuals to push their narrative. Even Soyinka used words like mob, fascists to describe Nigerians. Their only crime was that they were demanding a better country. So don't let anyone change the narrative. Always tell them the story the way it is. That's why you should support independent media, like already said. Tell your story by yourself. Don't allow anyone to tell your story. Thanks for watching.